Hello, I'm Royal Caribbean Chief Meteorologist James Van Fleet aboard the gorgeous and newly refurbished Mariner of the Seas. I'm home based at our corporate headquarters in Miami, Florida, where of course Mariner calls home as well. My role will be to help you make the most out of every single day of your vacation, giving you an idea of what to expect in the ports you'll visit and the forecast coming your way. This time of year for our Atlantic and Caribbean fleet, we start with the tropics, but it's a lot of good news, as it has been for a couple of weeks. As you take a look at the tropical outlook, one wave coming off of the African coast. It's that time of year that we might see a Cape Verde hurricane try to develop. But I will tell you, we have been socked in with Saharan dust for quite some time, and that really limits tropical development. And so while we'll keep an eye on this wave coming off of West Africa, I will tell you that everything I've looked at in the last couple days in the models looks like Saharan dust eats this up. So we'll keep an eye on it. Plus, where you see favorable over the mid-Atlantic and Florida, that's been a stationary front there for several days. In fact, take a look at Saturday's forecast. You'll see that's the stationary front right there. Now, while we're not calling for a depression or a storm to develop, I always watch these areas where we see a front sitting around the Gulf or the Caribbean for days on end, because it doesn't take much for a quick depression or storm to spin up with very little notice. So while that's not the general forecast that's expected, it is a heads up. I always like to give our folks out there on your vacation. So the numbers, Saturday, Cozumel, I do look for some scattered showers and storms. This could be a setup that you might see a couple of rounds, one around morning and one in the late afternoon or evening. Or it may all just come late day in the heat of the day. Very tropical, very late July, early August type of a setup with a high of 88 degrees. 40% coverage of a shower in Tampa with a high of 90, but Galveston and San Juan both looking great with low rain chances. Just an isolated storm where we see temperatures around 90 for a high. Now, one thing, when we say isolated, in this part of the world, that doesn't mean light rain if you see it. That means only one or two storms in a region. But in this part of the world, especially late summer, if you do get a shower, it's a heavy shower or thunderstorm, and it can really come down on you very heavily for about 5 to 20 minutes before moving on. So just want to be clear about what we're trying to say. So that Sunday forecast, yeah, the front's still stalled out around the Florida-Georgia line, and we do see some showers stretching from around Bermuda to the mid-Atlantic. But for our destinations, 88 in Cozumel on Sunday, and also Falmouth will be looking at 91. Both areas about a 50% coverage of showers and storms. Same for Nassau with temperatures around 86 for a high. And because of that front being stalled out and the sun is intense as we see this time of the year, it doesn't take much to heat up that Caribbean moisture and produce a shower storm that you might see. Now for Monday, we'll be looking at the front holding steady again right around that Florida-Georgia state line out to about Bermuda. But the numbers are a little bit cooler. Coco Cay at 86 for a high temperature, 87 around St. Thomas. Key West is close to 90 degrees, same for Galveston. With Coco Cay, about a 60% coverage of showers and storms expected. When I was looking at everything, it did look like we might see that more around the first half of the day than the second half. But again, the Bahamas, late summer, it's always tricky as you work your way around a shower or storm. But do know that I'm not expecting all-day rain, so you can completely strategize maybe a cabana or find some cover or a bungalow. And then that way, if you do have some lightning or some rain come through, you can jump in there, relax with a nice frosty beverage, let the rain shower go by or thunderstorm go by, and then resume your activities. That's a look at your weekend coming up. Now, we also like to show you pictures from around our fleet from you, the guests. This coming from Alaska. And take a look. This is two pictures. The one on the left, yeah, those are killer whales. In fact, a beautiful male killer whale or orca in this picture here. And if you look on the right, about midway to the left, yeah, a gorgeous bald eagle in that picture right there. I want to thank Anthony for sending those to us off of Radiance of the Seas. And then this double rainbow coming from around the Tampa Bay area where we have Majesty of the Seas calling port and home there. Thank you, Ronald, for sending that picture to us after some storms moved through. So we'd love to see your pictures. Send them to us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. My Twitter handle is @JamesVanFleet. Don't forget to tag Royal Caribbean. They love looking at your pictures, and oftentimes we'll retweet them with photo credit to you as well. Doesn't have to be weather related. Could be a nice ship picture. Could be a cool excursion that you did with you and your family. Just share them and we'll send them along as well on social media, and thank you as well. I'll be back on Monday with a broad look at the Atlantic and Caribbean forecast for you. Every day though through the weekend, Monday morning as well, the captain as well as your cruise director will have the latest forecast numbers for where you are in the world today. And until I see you again on Monday, have an amazing weekend, an amazing cruise, and thank you for sailing Royal Caribbean.